Peanut butter is called healthy, high protein, natural, clean, but at nearly 6 calories per gram, is it really as solid as people think?
What about red meat?
What about fruit?
What about fat?
What about carbs?
Run it through the lab.
Welcome to the Nutragrammatron lab. In this lab, we evaluate the nutrient composition of foods using a standardized 100-calorie framework. We are not medical doctors, and this content is not medical advice. Our focus is strictly on measurable nutrient density, ingredient quality, and metabolic characteristics of the food itself. The Nutragrammatron does not classify foods as good or bad. It evaluates what is present per calorie using consistent, transparent criteria. Some foods can be consumed regularly in meaningful amounts without accumulating nutritional strain over time. Others are better understood as situational, appropriate in certain contexts, but not necessarily as staples. Our objective is clarity, structured evaluation, consistency.
In today's subject, we are analyzing peanut butter. Per 100 calories, this subject provides approximately 4.27 grams protein, 3.40 grams carbs, 8.57 grams fat, 1.02 grams fiber, and 2.89 milligrams sodium.
The macro index evaluates protein density and the quality of carbohydrates and fats per 100 calories. Whole food carbohydrates are neutral. Refined sugars and refined flours trigger deductions. Fat quality is evaluated using cardiovascular outcome data. Industrial trans fats receive the strongest penalty. Highly processed fats may receive a deduction. Saturated fat density may receive a moderate deduction relative to unsaturated sources.
The macrogram index score for this subject is 18 out of 20.
The micro index evaluates total vitamin and mineral return per calorie. We assess essential vitamins including A, C, D, E, K, and the B complex, along with minerals such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, zinc, selenium, phosphorus, and manganese. Higher percentages of daily value per 100 calories earn more points. Ultra-processed fortification may receive a processing deduction.
The microgram index score for this subject is 12 out of 20.
The fiber index measures grams of fiber per 100 calories and fiber quality. Soluble and fermentable fibers with documented metabolic effects may increase the score. Extremely low fiber density reduces the score. Synthetic or isolated fiber additives may trigger a deduction.
The fibrogram index score for this subject is 10 out of 20.
The sodium index evaluates sodium concentration per 100 calories. Naturally low sodium whole foods score higher. As sodium density increases, points are deducted. When relevant, potassium balance is considered, as higher potassium relative to sodium is associated with improved cardiovascular outcomes.
The sodiogram index score for this subject is 20 out of 20.
The metabolic index evaluates glycemic load, degree of processing, and expected blood sugar response. Whole, intact foods with moderate glucose response score higher than refined carbohydrates or added sugars. Added sugars trigger an additional deduction due to glycemic load without corresponding nutrient density. Foods associated with rapid absorption or low satiety relative to calories may lose points.
The glycogram index score for this subject is 20 out of 20.
Now that we've calculated the 5 sub-indices, we can now reveal the total Nutragrammatron score for this subject.
The total Nutragrammatron score for peanut butter is 80. This puts it in the strong tiered classification. All right, let's look at some key nutrients that got us to this score. These nutrients contribute to the overall micronutrient and macronutrient density per calorie, and they help explain the final score. Protein is 4.27 grams, which supports the protein adequacy axis and lifts the macro balance domain. Added sugar is 0 grams, which prevents any glycemic penalty and keeps the glycemic load domain at its ceiling. Sodium is 2.89 milligrams, which prevents sodium deductions and keeps the sodium/processing exposure domain at its ceiling. Niacin is 2.06 milligrams at 12.9% daily value, which is the only listed micronutrient crossing a meaningful density mark and partially supports micronutrient density. Fiber is 1.02 grams, which limits fiber efficiency and is the weakest domain. The high tier reflects strong glycemic and sodium structure with only mid-level micronutrient density and non-elite fiber efficiency. This has been the Nutragrammatron Lab. Structured evaluation, transparent criteria, consistent analysis.
Classification complete.